Hello? Hello? I guess my audio enhancer really not working out. I guess my audio enhancer really not working out.
Choices. So, quote, it was very coincidental that they had their tests around the time we did, Walken said. To my knowledge, I don't think any of us knew that was going to happen. It was a very great A B test for us because obviously they made decisions that we didn't and vice versa. So we could kind of compare and contrast how some of those things shook out. Look, I'm not saying that most of us weren't hyped for Arc Raiders, but do you feel like Marathon rolling out first in their playtests, really missing the mark, kind of almost pushed us to take a look at Arc Raiders more? We would have played both regardless. It's not about whether or not you would have played both. It's about your thoughts afterwards, your experience. And you saw it was such polar experiences between the two. You had one game that was very much still needing to be cooked, and then you had another game that was very much refined. And despite even being in that refined state, it didn't roll out until now, or until here in another week. Now, it's quite interesting to follow up in what players thought about those certain things, or what did work in their context and didn't, and what may have worked in ours. Watkins added that Embar didn't pick apart Marathon with a magnifying glass, especially since Bungie's test was limited in scope, but he was rooting for it to succeed. He also complimented Bungie's visual approach, calling Marathon's art style very evocative, and says he's genuinely curious to see how the project evolves. I'm personally curious to see how that ends up. I hope to see more of that in the future, he said. Let me just say, as a studio, this is exactly how you're supposed to be. And I'm not talking about like rooting for the other studio. It's just purely acknowledging your competition. I saw this unfold with like Anthem and BioWare and EA. Y'all remember that article that broke from Schreier, how BioWare wasn't even allowed to, or devs at BioWare weren't allowed to talk about the competition, most notably Destiny 2, while they were making Anthem. How can you make a looter shooter if you don't look through your competition and see what works and what doesn't? And they obviously saw here with Marathon that features like solo play, proximity chat, obviously not having those things present just completely blew up in Bungie's face. Now, with Arc Raiders just days away, Embark clearly feels confident in its direction. On the other side, Bungie still needs to build player trust. The developers holding a closed tech test later this week. As for what's changed with Marathon since its closed alpha test, the Game Post exclusive reported several updates and developers have implemented, including long requested proximity chat, new runners, the UESC Marathon ship map, and how it works and more. Can I just say this, guys? What if this past summer, despite how terrible it was, despite so many features being missing, and despite having to watch one of the most uncomfortable streams ever, where Bungie had to come out and publicly acknowledge that yes, art had been stolen, what if that was...
We shouldn't linger here. Let's finish this quickly.
Alright. That's cool. Cycle reset. Doesn't matter really what I pick, honestly. Every 2 weeks the cycle changes, okay.
Something must have happened. It's drawn quite the crowd, like a flock of sheep to pasture. But you are not one of them. You aren't fenced in. Okay. Thank you. Something must have happened. It's drawn quite the crowd.
Okay, let's see what I get. Please don't be Joder. Don't be Joder.
What's it like being alone?
That's a win.
You and I are never alone.
thing for Marathon because a September launch, in my opinion, would have been disastrous for him. And all of these features would have been added months after the initial launch. At least now we're going to get, I don't want to say a complete package, but a more complete package. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to get, I felt like, and then seeing Arc Raiders, you're looking across, you see your competition, you see the type of product they're putting out, you see Arc Raiders about to roll out with not 4 but 5 maps. The 5th map's supposed to come sometime after launch. I mean, dude, you got to pick your game up. And like Bungie has always been like, a lot of people have applauded like the PvE side on Bungie, right? The raids, their dungeons, and everything else. But I got to say, guys, enemy AI in Arc Raiders is some of the best I've ever had to deal with. They're all over the place, but it makes every engagement so different. What I'm hoping is that Bungie is looking squarely at Arc Raiders and going,
I am here to
Guess we're all
investigate.
okay.
A new pimp
What do you think, Tethra?
like the kitten in the...
According to local residents, a new...
You shouldn't...
Gotta get out there. What's it like being alone?
Seems there's something new to do. You want to check it out? I don't care either way.
I don't know what I want to play. It's a bit too overwhelming. Let's actually, yeah, sure. Why not?
Go take a look. Seems there's something new to do. You want to check it out? I don't care either way. It is quite lively over there. If you're curious, go take a look.
Don't worry. We can finish this quickly.
The true dangers are ever lurking in the shadows, waiting to come for your throat when you least expect them. Quite troubling. drawn quite the crowd, like a flock of sheep to pasture. But you are not one of them. You aren't fenced in. Something must have happened. It's
My life
I like forests.
I want that. Oh, nothing. Annihilation, annihilation. Okay, this going for roll annihilation. Okay.
What's it like?
you and I are never alone.
What's the difference?
Sorry.
I have work to do.
Eyes up. Something must have happened. It's drawn quite the crowd, like a flock of sheep to pasture. But you are not one of them. You aren't fenced in.
Definitely can get a better one than this.
stretch my wings.
Marathon.
Let's get this over with.
Quite unfortunate. Honestly though.
That's what I'm here for. Stopping guys like you.
Oh. Nothing after nothing.
Watch a master of solar light at work.
All right, we've got to pick up our game in these areas to compete against Arc Raiders and, of course, other games that have well-established communities. Competition is good, makes both products better. Agreed. Well, I will say this. I think a lot of people definitely have a hate boner for Marathon. Dude, this is... I keep coming back to this, man. Bungie, unintentionally, or I don't know what, they kind of weaponize their own community against themselves. This isn't like Soulframe and Warframe, where Warframe players they're rooting for Soulframe and its success. And then when you see streams from DE, they're doing streams showing off Warframe and they're moving into Soulframe and they're talking about what they've learned from Warframe, which is transitioned into Soulframe, and you feel like you're part of one big family. Again, you removed all PvP updates essentially from Destiny PvP. You didn't even give us maps until we just damn near we were demanding. Everyone was demanding it. And then the first thing we hear about Marathon and your Vidoc was how important the integrity of PvP is to you, which is why Marathon will be getting dedicated servers. There was nothing what should have been said in that moment. We understand how important the integrity of PvP is in all of our games. So therefore, we will be rolling out dedicated servers for Marathon when it launches and for Destiny now. You've turned your community against you. And that's not even including the competition you got to go up against. Now, listen, I hope it's going to be a good game. We'll definitely be playing it. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see if it lives up, and I hope it exceeds all of our expectations. I will say by that point, Tarkov will be on Steam, right? I'm pretty sure Tarkov is coming to Steam here pretty soon. Arc Raiders will be very much entrenched with their community, and we'll just see, man. We'll see what shakes out. I someone enjoy Marathon playtest. The launch initially being in September, backed it up. Also the art scandal. I mean, I enjoyed Marathon, but I'm gonna be honest. The first playtest, I didn't see myself playing it after that first week. And what happened? Who were the people that were still playing the Marathon playtests? The small Marathon community, and they're there. But Destiny players, I would say Destiny players were the only ones still playing that thing after the first few days. Marathon was fine. Fine just won't cut it. Fine won't cut it, guys. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Fine is not going to drag someone away that is like Tarkov players. Have y'all talked to Tarkov players? Some of you are in the stream right now. You guys are fucking crazy about Tarkov. You're not going to drag away Tarkov players with just fine. You can't just throw up some it's all right. It's sci-fi. You know what I mean? That ain't gonna pull them the fuck away. And look, Arc Raiders players, they're gonna be the exact same thing. Marathon's gonna have to do something special. And yeah, I am concerned. I hope they cook, man. I hope they cook. They should abandon what they're doing, start converting Marathon into Destiny 3. Not gonna happen, guys. Not gonna happen. That shit's going out. And honestly, I wish Marathon was coming out this year. Like, I wish it could come out December or January or something. You know what I mean? I just want it out. I just want it out here in front of us. And for no other reason than just get it out the door. You know, sink or swim. One or the other. And look, nothing would make me happier. And I truly mean this. Nothing would make me happier than Marathon rolling out, and it is a massive success. It fucking kills it, brother. We're turning. Nothing would make me happier than Les calling me, being like, "Hey, man, are you playing Marathon tonight?" Yeah, hell yeah, I'll be on this evening. Nothing would make me happier than the boys calling me, "Hey, man, are you doing Marathon this weekend?" Yeah, let's hit it. Be nice if it's successful enough to fund a D3. Dude, at this rate, by the time a D3 comes out, if it ever comes out, I'm going to have a kid in college. You know what I'm saying?
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
Kid in college. Oh my.
I like.
What's it like being
You and I am yet to investigate, but there's a lot of people gathering over there.
What do you think, Tetra? I've done pretty.
Mint, let's do this together!
Do I actually have anything that's good? Nope. I mean, this could work. That might actually be not bad. Looks funny.
You shouldn't trust the Ahamkara.
I have work to. What do you think, Tetra? I've done pretty good lately, huh?
Must you ask me that every day?
Me? No. I like Haven. And the people here are great. That's why I can't stay here. I'm sorry.
I'm not short.
Ah. Alright. Let's see what I get. Oh my god. Wait a second. Fucking hell. What a possible combination.
Seems there's something new to do. You want to check it out? I don't care either way.
I need 10 of these. None of this. Oh my god. That's like the best I ever had.
It is quite lively up there. If you're curious, go take a look.
stretch my wings.
Let's get this over with.
Watch a master of solar light at work.
He means me.
Man, why am I moving?
Watch a master of solar light at work.
He means me.
You were nothing but a stepping stone. Stay out of the fire if you don't want to get burned. You were nothing but a stepping stone. Remember this. There's nothing I can't cut through. Watch a master of solar light at work.
He means me. It is quite lively over there.
Okay.
It is quite lively over there. If you're curious.
Yes, I am the A.
Oh, behind you.
Behind him?
Behind. um,
Hmm.
retribution. Violence. Something must have happened.
Ow. Hit myself.
This will be over soon. will be over soon. In the face of terror, nothing can escape. An ending befitting the wicked.
So much desire, so
I
much
died one more time,
greed.
so yeah.
When the violence and slaughter ends, a brief respite finally arrives.
As recover a time because of hit point because you gain abilities.
Something must have happened. It's drawn quite the crowd, like a flock of sheep to pasture. But you are not one of them. You aren't fenced in.
energy here is very negative. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes. I feel like the energy here is very negative.
Defensive boss on us. The luxury component constantly to take blah blah blah, but live
Good day, bad day, doesn't matter. I'm always the same me.
What boss is this? Oh. Chicken flip. I can't tank it.
Coming back from death is always a fresh experience.
It's easy. The boss is easy.
I have yet to investigate, but there's a lot of people gathering over there.
What's up? Bye, dear.
I have yet to investigate, but there's a lot of people gathering over there.
Good to see you.
Nothing good.
You take care.
According to local residents, a new event starts today.
Made it.
Have you been keeping cool? Bye, dear. What's up?
Oh shit, what did I get? Nothing.
You take care.
I have yet to investigate, but there's a lot of people gathering over there. According to local residents, a new event starts today.
I bow down to your superiority as a casemate.
Or since you work in a hardware store, can you please...
Gaijin is known for making a lot of very strange balancing decisions, and the Soviet TO-55 is definitely up there. It's basically a T-55A, but at a lower BR, and you might be asking, well, what makes it worse? And the answer is, it really isn't. It gets the flamethrower, and that's about it. It's the same BR as a lot of non-stabilized tanks, so let's go ahead and see how goofy it is. The only way I can possibly see this being worse than the regular T-55 is the extra ammo rack there for the flamethrower, but I don't think it'll have that much of an impact, frankly. Like, if you're shooting that side of the T-55, you're shooting the wrong spot anyway, because if you shot the other side, you take out the entire crew. Alright, M47 down.
I'm just gonna sit up here the entire game, I think. I don't like this map.
I really want to use the flamethrower on that, but I'd have to leave my spot. Oh my goodness, is that guy... What is that man firing? Can I at least use the flamethrower to, like, break this stuff down? Okay, that's good. It has some utility, at least. I can't say there are a ton of open-top vehicles in this BR range. Yep. Just, marauding around doing whatever I want, as TO-55s usually do. Oh, that was dirty. Hang on, is that Starship still alive? Yes, he is.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, buddy, it's me again. How you doing? Nice to see ya. I wonder, can we,
This is just absolutely insane, the amount of people that have roached out and tried to attack Ludwig. So Ludwig recently came out and said that he didn't want to have to deal with like any of the Hassan drama.
I'm also not even friends with Hassan, but that 100% is a shot call, as a fact.
Ludwig probably hates Hassan because he spends more time with his girlfriend than he does. He decides to dagger Hassan today by saying it's 100% a shot caller, and then immediately says, but I don't know. No, he said that he thinks it's a shot caller for sure, but he doesn't know whether he shocked the dog. This implies that Ludwig only thinks his IRL friend abuses his dog and that his own girlfriend is a liar. That's not what he said either. So she comes out and says something.
I looked at the collar. The collar is taped off.
Where then he's on a call with the FaZe people.
Wait, Lover, you said you want to do a stream with me too? I'm down.
Not after that clip you farmed on me, you asshole.
What?
She put him in that situation. This isn't even a criticism of Cutie, right? But I'm just being honest about this. Like, it goes both ways. How is it fair for her to go out and run her mouth and say shit like this? But then whenever he says, yeah, I don't know about that, this is somehow him being a bad boyfriend.
I literally haven't even posted the clip yet. And the very same people are already making shit up.
As Mongol tells Ludwig he shouldn't have let his girlfriend Cutie Cinderella run her mouth by defending Hassan Piker, thereby putting him in a bad situation.
It's not even... see, Why are these people addicted to lying? I wouldn't be surprised if he starts doing some right-wing grift, considering how hard his numbers have been dropping lately. I wouldn't put it past him. So this is what happens whenever you disagree with these people on the internet. They will make up lies about you. They will say things to assassinate your character. They will imply that you're a Nazi.
Ludwig, a streamer with blonde hair and blue eyes whose parents were related, believes that Hassan Piker's dog has a shock collar.
Guys, what the hell are we doing here?
Crazy how the guy who used to have a big trans flag in the background of his streams just ended up becoming some fence-sitting loser. So now they're saying that he doesn't like trans people anymore. And like, y'all see how this happens, right? What does Cutie see in Ludwig? They're basically engaging in the most vicious and hostile form of character assassination. There is no level they will not go to. There is no length that they will not take in order to try to misrepresent, make a person look bad. And I think that what's really funny is that the Hassan event, I think, has really gone to show that even a lot of the people in LA, even they don't want to have anything to do with this. It's so toxic and so unpleasant that even they want to avoid it. It's nuts.
Not because I want it to pay me back.
Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video...
Yeah. Because, but if we're helping with breaking or killing the... you break the other... yeah, no, I know, I get that. I think one person should help, because one thing can break 4 blocks. Yeah, that might be bad. Well, yeah, because then you could probably do, you could do like 3.5 and 2.5, because if you shoot it at the same time, it breaks faster, right? Yeah, but it's what you're proposing. What do you mean? Because if one person is helping, they will be late to the... they'll be late to their thing. They'll be late to the thing. So you break your 3, so for you, so you break your 3, as Zombie breaks 2, and then you guys shoot the last one, or you just break it. Either way, like it's not like there's, like it depends. I don't know how the timing would actually work out. You would have to see.
There's a character who can do that shit and damage him at the same time.
Yeah, if only.
If only.
Guys,
If only there's a
Ning
character
is
that
not the play. Hellhest, or like Estella is the play.
And the Estella's here. You guys can test it. Help on right.
I basically can play this whole thing.
We'll kill the ads then, if you kill the Sphinx.
More ads. Oh, fall damage. That's why. I'm gonna die. By the way. Okay. Wait, fall damage. So I just need to
The tricks are so funny.
Yeah, the tricks are really weird. I don't know why they added that.
This one you need to equip a speed sparrow.
Yeah, you gotta buy the witch's broom.
Can somebody tell me how this new character plays? I don't know. I'm confused.
What character and what?
Those strange aliens. They must have good qualities, right? Can they sing? Are they good to their parents?
one less shot. The last one scratched me a little.
Oh, what did I do?
I know. Come on, Swift. You sound like my dad. I love this world. Not because I want it to pay me back. Fais dodo, coula mon petit frère. Fais dodo, t'auras du lolo. Fais dodo, coula mon petit frère. Fais dodo, t'auras du lolo.
Nice try, sunshine.
Hey, Swift! I finally know how to make ghost shells. I will make a new one for you this week.
I have yet to investigate, but there's a lot of people gathering over there.
Ugh, this one.
Bruh. The new Valve update hit, and I basically lost $500,000 to $1 million overnight. Woo. Today's video is my raw reaction to this update, being able to turn 5 culverts into a gold knife for gloves, and my opinions, plus some potential investment opportunities to get rich. Huh? And of course, I did trade up after trade up after trade up after trade up, and I'm giving away everything. Everything I got from my trade ups today. I did over 10, and we got some crazy stuff. Anyways, trade up number 1. Let's get into this.
Oh shit, we got in.
another twab? This week in Destiny. Ah! It's a headless one! Take it down! Oh! That's enough candy to score a new gun burn at Evis. Maybe this.
When the current random bonus enemy plays on the front row. I got an idea, and I think it might just work.
one as an ancillary ordinance. Anyway, what we're talking about here, the TWID. Yes, Festival of the Lost is here. Candy and fancy new weapons are dropping, and we have some other great topics for today. All right.
Doing today?
Yo. What are these cards? Oh, that one. Okay. And that one. I see.
Be sure to come back. Ain't seen you. Don't raise the stakes too high out there, yeah?
What done? All the cards here are done as well.
I've finished compiling your notes.
Let's see what we have here. 20. God. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, okay.
I was thinking, if you could check my shell, it's a little scratchy.
Festival of Lost is now 1 week longer, introducing the new order system. Buffs for returning players, bounty for good is back, Destiny 2 expansion bundle 2025, new spooky budget rewards emblem. No roadmap. Bungie, it's okay if you come out and say, hey, listen, guys, we're not going to commit to a roadmap right now, okay? So no roadmap. I actually...
And people say no one's being arrested in the UK for posting a meme. Mr. Bean on free speech. Okay, well, let's see what Mr. Bean has to say.
My starting point when it comes to the consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life and fully expect to continue to do so. Personally, I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain free expression because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile. So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable.
He's saying that rich people can do things that poor people can't do.
Like the
Oh my god. See, okay. Well, thank you though. Play into my trick.
The man arrested in Oxford
Imagine that.
for calling a police horse gay.
A man
Or the
got arrested.
teenage-
Oh well, what am I supposed to do? Do to them, so it's gonna kill that and do that. It's not worth it. Easy way.
Wait, what?
Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay.
Well, why would they arrest him? If you arrest him, that means that being called gay is bad. And if being gay is bad, isn't that homophobic? What the fuck, man?
I read somewhere a defender of the status quo claiming that the fact that the gay horse case was dropped after the arrested man refused to pay the fine was
Once your turn, you do one damage to one random opposing unit, then the unit to its left and right, while also gaining power based on the damage dealt. So this part's kind of odd for me. I mean, I guess you can't really use it. But that depends. That really depends.
proof that the law was working well.
That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my entire life. If you use that argumentation, then that means that anything that happens where the case is dropped. Has there ever been a case where somebody was eating a potato and they got arrested, but the charge got dropped? No, it never happened because it's not against the law. Like, that's insane.
The fact that the only reason these cases were dropped was because of the publicity that they had attracted.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Police sensed that ridicule was just around the corner and withdrew their action. But what about the thousands of other cases?
So this ensures just a twin, but one costs less, but only attack. Okay. I mean, it works.
That did not enjoy the oxygen of publicity.
Think of all the gay
That weren't
horses
quite
that we don't know about.
ludicrous, even for those actions
When your turn ends, deal one damage to one
that were withdrawn. People were arrested, questioned, taken to court, and then released. The clear problem with the outlawing of insult.
I'm just gonna see it. Oh, fuck me. I see, yeah. Okay. Okay, that card's pretty good. It's usable, yeah. So I gain how much power? It's not much, honestly.
Is that too many things can be interpreted as such. Criticism is easily construed as insult by certain parties.
Yeah, that's right. People disagreeing with you is harassment. You might have learned this from Twitter. Mr. Based? Yeah, I know.
It is what you might call the new intolerance.
Yep.
New but intense desire to gag uncomfortable voices of dissent. I am not intolerant, say many people. Say many softly spoken, highly educated, liberal-minded. I'm only intolerant of intolerance. And people tend to nod sagely and say, oh yes, wise words, wise words. And yet if you think about this supposedly inarguable statement for longer than 5 seconds,
That's the reason why this statement is so popular on Twitter, is because in order to figure out the problems with it, you have to think about it for more than 5 seconds.
all it is advocating is the replacement of one kind of intolerance with another.
That's right.
Which to me doesn't represent any kind of progress at all. Underlying prejudices, injustices, or resentments are not addressed by arresting people. They are addressed by the issues being aired, argued, and dealt with, preferably outside the legal process. For me, the best way to increase society's resistance to insulting or offensive speech is to allow a lot more of it. As with childhood diseases, you can better resist those germs to which you have been exposed. We need to build our immunity to taking offense. Our priority should be to deal with the message, not the messenger. If we want a robust society, we need more robust dialogue, and that must include the right to insult or to offend.
What a fucking legend. Holy sh.
I honestly don't even know what to say. What he said was freaking out. It seems a bit crazy in a good way, obviously.
Shit. Well, I agree with everything he said. I had no idea he was that based, man. I had no idea. Autistic girl was arrested for saying a police officer looked like her lesbian nana. A guy put bacon outside of mosques, was sentenced to 12 months in prison and ended up dying in prison. The Guardian is currently calling for bringing Elon Musk to prison. A girl was sentenced to prison after insulting a gang rapist. Why do people in the UK put up with this? The American brain can't comprehend a society not accepting racist speech. You're right, we can't, because we think it's stupid. Because by banning people and putting people in jail for being racist, here's what's really crazy about that, is you don't stop people from being racist. That doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't make them less racist. It probably makes them actually more racist.
The entirety of Nordics have given so much to the world, it's actually insane. Sweden has given the world the temperature, Celsius.
Expected, yep.
A scale that the entire world, except the US, uses, is named after a Swedish astronomer. Minecraft is Swedish, the seatbelt is Swedish, the zipper is Swedish, PewDiePie is Swedish, and IKEA, Volvo, Bluetooth, and the adjustable wrench. But Norway was able to invent something much more unheard of in the world than any of the other Nordic countries did. It's called finding oil and not being a complete moron. Not in the European Union, but are in the Schengen area, so they get to enjoy the benefits of the EU without the disadvantages, such as sharing your money around. Norway is the top 5 richest countries in the world, at least, because some of these countries are debatable, and literally 80% of their exports are just petroleum. Then they used to be Vikings, then they just stopped giving a fuck when they discovered selling oil to Europeans and became stupid rich. They retained some of their Nordic ancestry though, as you can see, with the second biggest export of theirs after oil being fish. I can't speak on Norwegian. Norwegian people, I've only met 2 out of the 5 total Norwegians in the world, and one of them was an older lady that was touching me and harassing me when I was in Poland. But seeing as she was a Norwegian woman in Poland, it was probably her first time seeing a man with black hair and got a little too excited, and the second was a crypto bro. One thing I really respect about Norway is that they don't use their money like fucking morons like other oil-rich countries do. The year is 2045. Norway lives under Swedish rule. All Norwegian men are fed hormones, sissified and dominated. Game over, Norwegian boy. Why do you keep posting this? rocks, Danes and Swedes have not stopped going to war with each other, trying to kill as many of these savages that are totally different from them.
Fuck you! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
Beep 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 beep.
This is the funniest shit ever because Denmark and Sweden have been beefing since the beginning of time. They went to war with each other 44 times, and each time it was a different result. Swedes have that meat on them though, I can't lie, because for most of these wars, Denmark had an ally such as Norway that helped them in beating these savages who eat fish slightly differently. But despite Sweden being all alone in most of these wars, Sweden still won like half of them. There was even this one time where Sweden got jumped from Russia, Denmark, and Norway.
I want you to pull up. Please pull up. Watch your back. Nobody's behind me, brother. What's up, nigga?
I thought he ain't know me. Hey, shit. I thought he ain't know me.
Oh, blood. I ain't
no blood, man. I thought he ain't know me. You not blood. You not blood.
And the result was a favorable outcome for Sweden. And I love Swedes, I listen to Swedes, I play games made by Swedes, I sleep with one of them. Yeah, that's right. What do you think me and Leo were doing in a blue server. World War I and World War II happened, and it really didn't need to happen if Austrians just chilled the fuck out for a bit. But hey, Now I get to see the German foreign ministry ratioing Russia's foreign ministry on Twitter. So I guess that was worth it. Notice how the two countries who do not fuck with the whole war thing, Switzerland and Sweden, are two extremely rich countries in Europe compared to other countries like Russia, where they have infinite resources, but instead of spending that money to improve their citizens' lives, they just use it to go to war with literally every single neighbor they have and more. Even though more than a fifth of the country does not have indoor plumbing, you're a doctor, you get up to 800 whole American dollars a month. You wanna dig trenches in Kursk? Wallahi, why didn't you just say so? Here you go, $4,000. Makes you think. What I mean by exploiting the stupidity of Europeans is that Sweden decided to not take any sides, so they didn't get sanctioned by the Allies or the Axis in either of the world wars. And they were one of the few European countries that both sides could trade with. In World War I, they gave both sides iron and timber, and in the sequel, they gave them iron and timber. At one point, Germany was getting 40% of its iron from Sweden, used to fuel his war. And for this part, I gotta bring in my goat, my homie, my husband, who is half Swedish and has been filling my brain up with Swedish propaganda every time we hang out. Geopol.
Right, so I've been employed to spread Swedish propaganda, essentially. You gotta think, Minecraft, Blade, ABBA, IKEA, Dynamite. What would the world be without our great nation? Can you imagine life without guns, Minecraft and Blade? You can't. I know you can't. We have the most influential nation in the world. Now, you could take it from me, that's whatever. I actually took my friend to Sweden for like an hour, right? And I was thinking it might be a bit biased if you hear it from me, so let's hear what he has to say, yeah?
Oh, hi. What's up, everybody? Now, I've been to Sweden for an hour, and I thought it was beautiful. Beautiful. Very airport-like, I thought, my first visit. But on my second visit, I did manage to get a beer. That was very nice. Leo didn't get one because he's under 21. I recommend Sweden. Very nice country.
Also, I like to make fun of Denmark for genociding 17 million minks because of COVID. Yo, if you're watching this, do not be a mink in Denmark during COVID. You will not have fun. But also, they are still objectively one of the best countries in the world, just like the entirety of the Nordics are. It's always Denmark or Finland who gets ranked the happiest country in the world, with amazing social systems and safety. And what I really respect Denmark for is mainly three things. One, their cycling infrastructure in Copenhagen is absolutely amazing. I always fuck with cycling heavy, so they get many points on the board for this. Two, they made Lego, so they literally contributed so much to most children's childhoods that probably no other toy ever has. And three, their undying support for Ukraine. Bro, they literally emptied their entire stock of artillery to send it to Ukraine for usage. This is extremely based, and me and my Polish friends both agreed that Europe should be ruled by the Nordics because they clearly know how to make good decisions, instead of Germany, who decided that relying half of their country on Russian gas was a good idea. So what I'm suggesting is a personal union with Denmark because they have no mountains. Denmark is the second flattest country in Europe after the Netherlands, and